Hey everybody, we're live here in our Functional Medicine Health Center where we see patients around the world via our virtual functional medicine practice. Via webcam, we consult people around the world and giving them a functional medicine perspective on their health case. And we are live here on Facebook and on Instagram. So the people on Instagram heard this already, but I wanted to hop on there first just to set the stage and some of the things we're going to be talking about. So for those of you on either Facebook or Instagram, be sure while we're live here, you can ask any questions that you want to about functional medicine, about health, about Ketotarian if you have my first book, about any of the video classes on the website, any articles that you read that I wrote. I'll be able to get to some of those today. But I basically want to talk to you guys about some of the exciting stuff we have going on in our clinic and upcoming projects that we have that I haven't had a chance to share with you guys because I've been busy seeing patients and writing my second book and co-hosting some podcasts. So I wanted to fill you in if you haven't maybe kept up on what we're doing, because I normally, for a long time, I was doing a Facebook and Instagram live weekly, and then all these projects kind of came in at the same time, so we took a little bit of a break from doing the lives, but we're going to try to be intentional with making those a priority in between seeing patients. Obviously, my patients are our top priority, but I'm going to carve out some time to talk to you guys and fill you in on what we have going on and keep you guys up to date. So first of all, if you haven't heard about it, again, like I said, my day job is consulting patients one-on-one, so it's just me and them, the patient, talking about their health and giving them a functional medicine perspective on their case, and it's normally on that one-on-one setting on webcam. But we launched recently something we've been working on for the past year is the online group classes. So if you haven't heard about it yet, I'll tell you a little bit about it now. So basically, it's a way for us to make functional medicine more accessible, more affordable to more people. Because basically, for all of us, there's only so many hours in a day for us to do our job. And for us, it's me seeing patients one-on-one. So we came up with this online group class about a year ago, and we've been onboarding it and beta testing it and making it the best it can be, and we now have launched it. We just finished our first ever online functional medicine group class last week, and prior to the lab, we drop shipped their blood labs for patients around the United States to get the labs. We coordinated it with a local lab, and they got the blood tests. We got the results. We put all the blood tests on a spreadsheet. We compared them to the optimal functional range, so we gave them basically a functional medicine perspective on their specific labs. And then we also tailored an action plan, a functional medicine action plan based on their results. So we gave them foods to focus on based on the labs. We gave them a natural medicine protocol based on their labs. And we gave them next step, like action steps, what they would do. So they got a starting point, an onboarding of their own action plan based on their labs. So it's a way for us to make functional medicine more accessible, more affordable to people, because we're able to impact. We can have 100 people in an online group class we can impact at the same time versus seeing those 100 people individually. So it's really exciting. It's our next frontier. In addition to obviously seeing the one-on-one patients still, we're not going to stop that. But once a month, we're going to be doing the online group classes. So for people that are interested, obviously the August group class just finished, but we are now opening enrollment for this September online functional medicine group class. So if you're interested, we will leave the link below on Facebook. But if you just go to drwillcole.com and then go to the consultation page, you will get all the information about either the one-on-one consults or the group classes. So just go to drwillcole.com and click the consultation page, but we'll put the link shortly on the comment section below. On Facebook on this video. So that's number one thing that's going on. The second thing we have going on is my second book's going to be out in October 15th. So in addition to seeing patients, I've been working on this bad boy, the inflammation spectrum, so you guys can see it on Instagram. So it's going to be a hardcover. This is the Galley, as they call it. It's just the initial advanced copy. But this is the cover. We put a cool video on Instagram and Facebook last week kind of showing the ethos behind it. But the concept is a concept that I talked about in my first book, which is here. I'll grab it here. If you haven't checked out my first book, it's Ketotarian. And it's a concept that I talked about in Ketotarian, the inflammation spectrum, but this is a deep dive into that concept. It's about the different components of inflammation, what that looks like, and then more importantly, what to do about it. So it's meant for you to discover what your body loves and what your body hates. So there's an awesome quiz in the book, which you can take for yourself, and it'll show you where you're at on the inflammation spectrum, and then a specific tailored plan that's born out of my functional medicine experience. You'll get your own toolbox based on your quiz score and your own plan based on your quiz score. It's really exciting, and it's, again, me kind of boiling down all of these commonalities that I've seeing patients around the world in my functional medicine practice. So the inflammation spectrum, it's on pre-order now. You can take the inflammation spectrum quiz, which we just launched that on last Thursday. So you can go to drwolkohl.com, go to the inflammation spectrum page. It's under the book tab, and take the inflammation spectrum quiz now. It is the actual quiz in the book. So you can take the quiz now and kind of get those results to get your information churning as far as what's working for your body and what's not. All right, so that's the second thing. The third thing are the podcasts. So if you guys listen to any podcasts that I host or co-host, you know that I co-host Keto Talk. I've hosted Keto Talk for the past 2 years with my friend Jimmy Moore, and we've answered your ketogenic health questions, your functional medicine health questions. We talked about microbiome and adaptogens and testing and all the stuff that I love. We've talked about for the past 2 years. Well, Jimmy is taking a 6-month sabbatical, a much needed one, taking a break, and this show is going on a hiatus for 6 months, and we'll be back after that. So for all your Keto Talk fans, we'll be back, but we're going to take a break. We have an episode coming out this week, and we have an episode coming out next week. So the last week of August will be our last episode of Keto Talk for 6 months. And then after the 6 months, we'll be back on the show. But if you haven't heard, I'm also the co-host of Goop Fellas, which is Goop's first spin-off podcast. So the Goop podcast is hosted by Gwyneth Paltrow and Elise Loehnen, and this is a spin-off called Goop Fellas. It is Goop's first spin-off. It is like a play on words with Goodfellas. This is like wellness gangster, so to speak. Me and my friend Seamus Mullen, a world-class chef, amazing person. We talk about health, we talk about vulnerability, we talk about addiction, we talk about life transformations of all sorts and sizes. And it is something that I'm very much passionate about, because it's this conversation I think people need to be having, men, women, all sort of people need to be having this conversation about vulnerability and connecting with people and telling their stories and being honest and transparent. So really excited about, we've had Rob Lowe on the show, we've had Chris Kresser, we've had Melissa Hartwig-Urban, we've had Michael Stipe, we have some amazing people coming up, we've had Kelly Rutherford, awesome people in the world kind of telling their story and how their pain became their purpose. So there's a new episode of Goop Fellas that comes out on Apple Podcasts or Stitcher or wherever you listen to podcasts every Wednesday. So there'll be a new episode tomorrow if you're watching this live. All right, I think that's everything, guys. We talked about the podcast, the book, that's everything else. So if you want to learn more about any of the things we talked about, you can check out drwolkohl.com. We offer a free health or webcam health evaluation for people around the world. If you want to get a perspective on your health, you can learn more about the group classes there and the one-on-one consults. All right, guys, I just want to hop on in between meetings and kind of fill you in on the latest stuff of what we've been doing. All right, have a great day.